6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I always gotta hit the drum roll. We always then the drum roll, please. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in, giving everybody a minute to jump on. Today we are real talking with Karen, Stacy, and DJ Lady Tita, who was
Good morning.
good morning. Lady Tita was kind enough to jump in because normally we are WTF talking at 11 a.m. on Tuesdays, but Danielle is being super mom today. So um, I reached out and Tita actually moved things around in her very busy schedule to be here with us today. So thank you so much for doing that. Good morning, Tita. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Danielle put on her cape and she's being super mom today.
Well, she's always, I mean, as you know, right? We're always being
Yep.
super mom. But yes, today, so she's such a trooper. So apparently, everybody's got all her kids are off today. I'm not sure
Yeah, it's
why.
election day. All public schools are off.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So after I get
Okay.
off the phone with you, I'm going to go vote.
Okay, no, I mean, I realized it was election day, but I didn't know that they still gave off.
Yeah.
Or so your daughter
hmm
in school today?
Yeah, they're off. Everybody's off
Oh no.
except private and Catholic schools, I think. They're still in
Okay.
session, but all public
Right, which
schools
is
are
still
off.
private. Ah, no wonder. You know what?
Yeah.
And I was curious about that too because I was thinking that normally on election day that they're off, but my son is in school, so that's really stinks because for anybody that doesn't know us, my son and Tita's daughter are attached at the hip, BFFs,
Literally.
and so yeah, so that like he must really be pissed off that
Yeah,
she
he
was.
was. He's like, that's not fair. And she's like, well,
Yeah,
public
I
school, so there.
I can imagine that that was the case. He didn't express that to me, but now it makes perfect sense. Okay. Well, then that's why they're off. So she
Yeah,
is taking all three of them to the dentist this morning.
nice.
And such a trooper that she is, she's like, you know what? I might have to mute it, but while I'm there, I can definitely I can jump, I can just,
No
I
way.
can do it.
That's too
But
much.
and the appointments were at 11 at 10:30. So she got to them, so she figured that from 11 o'clock she would be muting while she was taking care of all of them. I'm like, yeah, I love you. Thank you.
That's
I
too much.
appreciate that. But you're never going to be able to pay attention because
No.
how can you talk and navigate three children? So for those of you that are jumping on, good morning and thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you hit that follow button and then you will always know when we go live. So thank you for tuning in to Real Talk with Karen, Stacy, and Lady Tita. We are talking today, Tita. Tell them because I left this on Tita today, just because I mean, in terms of the topic, because I said to her, well, what would you like to talk about? So this was Tita's topic, and Tita felt that she could go on and on about this. So please let everybody know what topic we are discussing.
Well, I could give a TED talk on this topic. So it's basically, is music your medicine? And my answer to that is yes, absolutely. I know this may sound a little cliche, but if we think about Madonna's Holiday back from the 80s, that song was way ahead of its time. And given, I'm not going to get into specific, circumstances of what's going on in the world right now, because it's just too many of them and we'll be here for 10 hours. But if we took a holiday, it will be so right. Really need to take a step back and remember the better days, and music has that power to transport you to a different time, to a different realm, to a different, and dare I say, parallel universe, where things are just better, or you can remember a happier time, or you can envision a better time, and thus helping you navigate whatever you might be going through right now. For me personally, back in the 80s, I went through a really, really difficult time in my teens. So I'm 52. I just dated myself and I don't care. I own my age. But I was incredibly suicidal. I mean, it was really, really a dark time for me. And plain and simple, the artist that basically saved me was George Michael.
Hmm.
It was his music. His music was so genuine and from the heart, and I resonated with that. And I had developed very negative behaviors, anorexia being one of them. I was anorexic for 10 years. And, but it was always listening to his music that got me through the darkest times. And that was back in the 80s. Fast
Hmm.
forward to today, 2023, and that has not changed. I'm not suicidal anymore, obviously, but the power
Thank God.
to be transported via music, to be healed through it, really does play an integral part in my life, in the life of my family. And whether you realize it or not, it does in our society in general. One song has the power to transport you to a better time or to something that you would like. And right away, the chemistry in your body, the chemistry in your brain changes at the drop of a dime. And so connecting that to one of the many careers that I have, and that's of being a DJ, it gives me great joy to be able to pay it forward, so to speak, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, whether it's at the clubs, at a private event, a festival, or even on the radio. I'm able to still do that for others because that's what music has been for me. Through music, I've connected to my spirituality, my healing, and it drives me. So whereas a lot of people would say, well, for example, I am on the radio about 4 times a week. Oh, that's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of work. Yeah, it is a lot of work. But what you don't understand is that all of my other careers, I'm dealing with the public, and I'm constantly talking and I'm constantly giving and giving. When I sit down to do these radio shows, that is my therapy hour for myself. I am basically digging in the files within my soul, so to speak, and
Mm-hmm.
pulling out the songs that speak to my soul, and putting together that mix and getting it out on the airwaves to the masses. It has a positive effect because that is the intention behind every mix that I do, every performance that I do, every festival, every stage that I ever get on. So yeah, to this day, music is my medicine. It has and always will. But it wasn't always that way. I did have a little hiccup 4 years ago when my father passed away, and I was so incredibly broken. I didn't want to play music anymore. We were just coming out of the pandemic. The world was just starting to open up, and Miss Lady Tita was broken. It was traumatizing to watch what I watched at the hospital. No one should ever have to go through that, and I didn't want to play music anymore because I felt I had nothing to give. And again, through the power of music, one day, it was a Thursday, and I'm sorry for rambling, but I really want to give a little background to this. It was a Thursday, and Thursdays I make pasta and chicken cutlets at home because I cook and that's what I do. And I see a Facebook message pop up, which I normally don't check right away, but I felt that I should. And it
Mm-hmm.
was this message from this radio station, Power 787 Radio. And it was the owner reaching out to me, asking me if I wanted to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so right away, I was like, absolutely. I felt right away, I got scared. And I said, absolutely not. I have nothing to give. I'm broken. That was my reaction right away, because I was broken. I was hurting. I was grieving. Grieving was brutal, not to mention everyone else that passed away to COVID and everything else. It was just one kick in the ass after another. It was a lot,
Mm-hmm.
as it is for anyone who's ever lost a loved one. Grieving is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of days later, we connected via phone, and it's like I had always known this person. We clicked right away, and he became my brother through music instantaneously. And believe it or not, I did get back into DJing. I did get on the radio. I'm still on the radio, loving everything about it. But it was my way back to one, feeling alive again, healing. Not that the grieving ever goes away, it just becomes bearable and it kind of exists parallel to you. But it also, that became my why. And my why was, my dad gave me the gift of music when I was a little girl. And now my why is to spread that gift of music to others so that they also can use it as medicine, as I have for me. It doesn't mean that everyone's going to take it as that, and that's fine. Music is subjective, as is every part of the arts. But for me, that is my intention, for music to be used as medicine, as a way to heal, a way to feel better, a way to elevate your vibration so that you can unplug from the ugliness that's going on. I mean, if I can keep you from watching the news just one freaking hour, then I'm going to do it,
Yeah, no
because
doubt.
the
Well,
news will not have you feeling better afterwards. But one of my sets will, so to speak, and that's
right.
how confident I am, because it is powerful. So it is my medicine.
Well, when on your I think it's your mix cloud. You said if God was a DJ, right?
Yeah.
Is that on mix cloud? And it is very true that I don't know. I mean, for anybody that's listening right now, first of all, thank you guys for those of you that have tuned in. You are listening to Real Talk with Karen Stacy and DJ Lady Tita. And we are talking about, is music your medicine? And as with most things in my life, there's always double entendres that stay with me. And so not only is Tita a DJ, and she's been a DJ for 700 years.
36 years to be exact.
36, 700, you know what I'm saying. And she also is a healer as well. So she's and like spiritually, she has a lot of accolades behind that. So I always say Tita is my healer, and that's for both things, because I can, she may give me a session, and then I may listen to one of her mixes. And so I get like a double whammy, because, from a person that is not a DJ, I just play one on TV. No, I am not a DJ. I am an MC and would never classify myself as a DJ, because that is a talent that I don't think I could ever get up to. But I have listened to a set of hers. Like, I've just, especially like she was just mentioning COVID, and how so many people, we were all struggling during COVID, which was
Yeah,
when
it
I
was
started
rough.
Coffee Talk, and we were all like
Yep.
kind of scratching our heads together. And I remember, putting on one of her "If God Was a DJ" mixes, and I remembered working out and going outside when, you weren't allowed to do that, right? And then I didn't even have a mask on. Oh my God. And I was exercising, and I played one of Tita's mixes. And of course, I can't hear anymore because I blast everything in my ear, because, my son's like, "Ma, you can't play it that loud. You're going to affect your hearing." I'm like, I don't care. I need to feel
No,
it.
no,
I
no.
need to.
Your answer to your son is what? What did you say?
Yeah, exactly. And
Speak
I'm
up! I
like,
can't hear you.
right, yes, yes. So, and so I do. And for me personally, on a different level, I mean, growing up as a dancer, and I know you were, you danced as well. Music is just so instrumental in everything. And when you're in the arts and everything, you totally need to, the music moves you. And even if you
Yes.
aren't in the arts, like you said earlier, music can transfer you to another place. It's like if you go somewhere, like a smell, right? Like you smell
Yeah.
something, and it's like it will take you back to
Mm-hmm.
whenever you smelt that, and those endorphins will release, whether good or bad, right?
Yeah. You
And
instantaneously connect to that memory right away.
correct. And so, like, I have certainly, I do that. Like I get to the point with, so many things in life where I'm ready to like flip my lid, and I just like play music again too loudly in my ears, and work
What?
out. And yes, and that's what, that's my way of, trying to deal with it. And to me, it's a positive way to deal with it. So,
Yeah.
for anybody out there that may be soothes the savage beast. Good morning,
Yeah,
Danielle.
I like what Danielle said. It does. If you're
Yes.
having a bad day, you feel like freaking, like Karen said, flipping your lid, put
Yep.
something on. It's musical therapy. Just put it on and get
Yep.
lost in the music.
Yes.
It's
And that's
cheaper than going to the doctor and a therapist. I promise
right.
you.
Right. Not that we're recommending that you don't get, help if you need it, but
Right.
certainly start somewhere, right? So, if you can find music that, resonates with you, and I mean there's so many different genres, right? So like we get lost in certain ones, but like I'm kind of like, I mean, and Tita knows, I mean, besides, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love freestyle and everything else, but I mean, I like to listen to that, but like I'm more of like what is that genre, Tita? Like it's like a techno house, right? Is that my thing? What's my thing?
Are we talking about what I play on a Saturday night or
Yeah, like like my brazen and all the like my songs that make
your
you go
yeah,
cuckoo.
yours is dance music, progressive, somewhere in between there.
Yeah, somewhere in between there. I mean, that's like my spot, if you will. And that's when I will just, forget that I'm 53 years old and I start jumping around on the dance floor.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
it's supposed to do.
yes.
It's
And I gotta say that that's why I do love going out dancing, with the right people, with the right music.
yeah.
And because there is such a release, just getting like, I've always been this way since I'm younger. Just put me on the dance floor
Let
and
me be.
that's it. Just go, let me be. Like now I socialize more getting older. But when I was younger, we used to get on the dance floor and we didn't get off of it until God knows like when. And we just danced all freaking night. And you know what? To me, it's almost as good as sex, because actually it could be better, because if the music is good, that's better than having bad sex. But
Yeah.
that's a whole other show. Um, but I definitely like, I think that should, I think we want to empower people today that if you're feeling a certain way, throw some music on, because it really can change your outlook and your feeling, because it does release those endorphins and such. And so as Tita said, music is medicine, and that medicine is different to everybody, right? Because for Tita, she's a DJ, so when she is playing, she is putting the energy in. That's also like for those people that seem to like certain DJs and stuff. Obviously everybody has a certain style,
Oh
but I
yeah.
mean, would you agree that it also, like, I mean, I know a lot of DJs, and I know when the DJ isn't into it, and I know when the DJ is into it. Now that said, everybody's human, and you could have a bad day. So, but when you're creating, your energy goes into it. So sometimes, like what Tita was saying before, if you're just tuning in, she pours herself into her sets. And that is her release. Like Tita and I are, sisters from another mister, for anybody that isn't aware of that. And like I'll know, like, I know, maybe she was dealing with something, and she's like, you know what, I just need to play. I'm going to pour myself into it, and I just need to play. And it is amazing to be able to have a career, where you can feed your family and be able to express yourself, be able to help yourself, and to be able to heal others, because she DJs, one of the places she DJs is a club. So if her customers are going there and she's DJing in the club, and she is creating, so people don't realize how the importance of the DJ, because the DJ is bringing you in. They're bringing you up, They're going to stabilize you. They're going to bring you down if they need to. They're going to bring you back up again. And so many people that aren't in the business wouldn't understand that, but you don't realize that if you all think about this and you're not a DJ and you think about how the night goes and whether you had a good night or a great night or whatever the case, right? That's the DJ. The DJ
Well,
is,
I agree 100% with what you're saying, because the club could be made out of gold.
yep.
It could be Studio 54 and you got cocaine pouring through the vents. Um,
Yeah.
straight up, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Uh,
You have naked people walking around, whatever the case may be.
I miss the naked people
You
walking around. Yeah,
have
go ahead.
you you can have free liquor flowing, whatever. But if the person playing the music is having a certain kind of night, is not feeling it,
Yep.
or their why is not authentic,
Yep.
people are not going to stay, they're going to leave. And so what makes a nightclub or a bar thrive is return business.
Mm-hmm.
So here is where you have to define your why. Why
Mm-hmm.
are you doing this? And not this is not just DJing or a holistic practice, but every field out there. What is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? And you may not know this right away, and that's okay. But eventually you will be able to hone in as to why are you doing what you're doing? Is it because you want the accolades? You want to feed your ego? If that's the case, that's fine. That's your
Mm-hmm.
choice. But if your why is on a little higher level, identify what that is. So when I had to redefine my why 4 years ago, and I'm always going to go back that because that was a pivotal point in my life, I had to redefine my why because I was ready to hang up the headphones. So I'm like, okay, I had a good run. I just can't do this anymore. I'm broken. And when Mike, the owner of the radio station, reached out to me,
Shout out to
eh,
MDW.
yeah, it was it was such a pivotal point in my life, in my career, because I took a step back, and after we spoke on the phone, I was like, I'm gonna have to redefine my why. And
Mm-hmm.
I started little by little. Okay, we premiered the show on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Then we came up with Factoria Saturday nights, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
still doing every Saturday at 9 Eastern Standard Time. Download the app. I sounded like a commercial. And then after that, my why began to grow, and I began to fall in love with the art of playing music again. And that's when I
Which,
started to realize that that was my connection to my dad. That became my why,
yeah,
and
well, which was
it
interesting
really
because,
elevated the reason why I was doing. And not only that, it expanded into other radio shows, because all of a sudden my spirit came back big time. And I remember picking up the phone and telling him, Mike, Saturdays is not enough for me. I'm only showcasing one genre. I need to expand to different genres because I like to play everything. I have ADD and my mind works in mysterious ways. And so from that conversation, the boom at noon came into existence. And that's still going on today at 12
yep.
o'clock.
But
Every
what was
single day is something
interesting,
different. So that helped me. That was my why. I I realized I wasn't done. It was my connection to my dad. It became instrumental in my grieving process. And to redefine my why was this: if I'm going to keep doing this, it has to have a deeper meaning than getting accolades and people, complimenting me. That became, I was like, I don't care about that anymore. I need to redefine my why. If it's not making a difference, I don't want to do it. So it no longer became a job.
right?
It
Well, and
morphed into a
again,
calling, and that's where
you
I'm at now.
you used to be on the radio many years ago,
I was on
and
92 LIR. We used to do a show called the
that
12
was a
inch on
great. Oh.
Tuesdays, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a key and a half. But they changed the format, and so I was like, I'm never going to do radio again. I have no
No, and that was
interest.
what I was about to say, was that she was totally against it. I mean, Tita was the type that she's like, I don't download anything on my phone. And I'm like, um, Okay.
Karen, hold
So
on, hold on. Danielle's husband's asking,
I
was it just the
I know
music,
I
or
was
was it
going
just a
to address
specific
that.
song that really transcended you to know this was what you were supposed to do again? Danielle, tell your husband it was the music itself. It was just a collective feeling. The very song that I started to play, all of a sudden, it just I mean, I was 30 something years into the business already, and all of a sudden, bam, just when I thought I couldn't have any more awakenings, just goes to show you that you never know enough because you're always going to be learning. All of a sudden, it wasn't just a single song, it was just music in general. Just like a different dimension opened up in my soul, and I realized this is my why now, and I'm not stopping. So I tell people, yeah, I'm 36 years into the business, and guess what, I just started. I literally just started. And I don't know where this is going, but I can't wait to see. I'm enjoying the journey. So it was the music as a collective in general. It wasn't a specific song per se. I hope that answers the question. Sorry.
Yeah, the question was it just the music, or was it a specific song that really transcended you to know this was what you were supposed to do again? So that was, the response. I also wanted to say good morning to, I think Anthony is on here. Good morning, Anthony. He did a check-in. We are discussing right now, you're listening to Real Talk with Karen, Stacy, and DJ Lady Tita, and we are talking about music being your medicine, and strongly encouraging anybody that might be, even sometimes, I mean, again, you can listen to it in your own home, on your headphones, whatever, or even like, we were just explaining, maybe go out and try to, I mean, some people don't like to dance, and they
And
just want
that's
to listen to
okay.
the
Go out
music,
for a
right?
walk, put your headphones on, or sit in your room. What just put on it doesn't there's no right or wrong way. Again, you do what feels best for you, but just connect to it because you never know. I'm going to share something that was very personal. And I always get very, very emotional about this. Way before the pandemic, maybe 20, I'm going to say 2015, 2014, somewhere around there. I'm at the club. So one of the clubs that I work at is called Club Feathers. It's located in Jersey. It's one of the oldest gay clubs in the nation. The other club I work at is the Shea in Hartford, Connecticut. Again, one of the oldest gay clubs in our country. But this particular Saturday, I was at Club Feathers, which is in New Jersey. And back then, the DJ booth was at the dance floor level. So I was very accessible to the public. Right now, I'm about 4 feet up high. The owner moved me up. So when I play, it feels like I'm literally commanding a spaceship because I actually have, a booth. They call it the treehouse because I'm up there. But back then, the DJ booth was right on the ground floor. So it was a Saturday night. I played my ass off. I was just in that mood where I'm just letting it out. And I didn't think anything of it. The night ends, I'm putting stuff away. No big deal. I think, yeah, I think I was actually playing CDs still at that time. And there's this guy, mind you, I don't know who this guy is. I never saw him again. I wish I had gotten his name, but I have no idea who he was. But he walks in the booth and he says, Lady Tita. So I turn around. I said, yes, may I help you? And he proceeds with the following. He goes, I came out tonight for one last dance, literally one last dance. And I go to him, I said, what do you mean one last dance? And he said, because I had planned to take my own life tonight after going home, after leaving the
Jesus.
club. And I looked at him and I mean, I didn't know what to say. I was just
Yeah.
frozen.
What do you say?
And I looked at him and I said, okay, I don't know. What do you say to somebody that tells you that? But, I was dumbfounded. But
Right. You're speechless.
he proceeded to tell me, he goes, but after tonight, he goes, you played, the music was so good. You told the story and it transported me to a better time. that I had, a couple
Mhm.
of years back. And
Mhm.
he said, I was able to reconnect with those happy memories. And you know what? I'm going to go home and I'm not going to end my life.
It's amazing.
I'm actually going to fix my life. And I'm going to start listening to some of the songs that you played tonight at home. And he goes, I just wanted to thank you for reminding me that life is good and life was good and life can be good.
Absolutely.
I started to tear right away.
Yeah.
I hugged him. I said, you matter. Please don't go anywhere. Okay.
Mhm.
I said, you are worth everything, because I truly do believe that every life is precious. You are here for a reason. Don't
Mhm.
ever forget that. And I told him that. And he
Mhm.
said, okay. He goes, thank you. And I don't know who this guy was. If he's been there at the club ever since, I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Mhm. Mhm.
But that will never, ever leave. It's ingrained in my
Yeah.
soul.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and it's heavy is the head that wears the crown sometimes, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
there are when you are in the entertainment industry, um, there you never know who you're reaching, and you never know where
Exactly.
they are. And so that's why it is so important, in my opinion, that these quote unquote role models, or
Oh,
um
yeah. Yeah.
you know so it's a very interesting um dynamic, because when I started doing the coffee talk, and we basically were just chit chatting every day during the pandemic and other shows and stuff, I would have people, I mean, even prior to, I had people message me exactly the same thing, like I was about
Yeah.
to drive off a cliff,
Yep.
and literally, like, in my car about to drive off a cliff, and I heard what you said, and it made me just hold on for a little bit longer, and
And they
then I
resonated with it.
right, and then I realized that X, Y, and Z, and that was one of a few, actually, that I had
Mm-hmm.
gotten that said that. And so you really don't ever know what someone else is going through. Most
You don't.
people, right,
Everyone is
and we're
fighting a battle you know nothing
right.
about.
And especially the fact that we're old school, right? So when you're raised, you keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Never let them see you cry, and
Mm-hmm.
don't air our dirty laundry to nobody.
Yeah.
So most of the times, people that are struggling don't reach out because they don't know how, because they weren't taught to reach out for help. So it is amazing when you are able to connect and help other people, via, words, via music, whatever the case
Via
may
your
be.
art, whatever your calling is in this life, whether
Correct.
you're a nurse, a doctor, a therapist, a painter,
Correct.
if you lay down floors for a living, if you're a
Yep.
plumber,
A
whoever you are,
teacher.
I appreciate whatever you do for a living. You are out there making a difference. You are living your best life. You're putting your best foot forward. What you do matters, because everything, any little pebble you throw out, and I'm going to get very philosophical. Every little pebble that you throw out of a good deed has a ripple effect into eternity. You throw a pebble into a lake, you can. I mean, you can't see the end of the ripples. It's the same thing with us. So, like you said, when you're in the arts, in the entertainment industry, in any capacity, whether you're a bartender, a bar back, a server, doesn't matter. The
Yep.
service industry is key. A hairdresser. I've had this
Yeah.
conversation with my friend Juan John. Hairdressers are basically therapists.
Yep.
And they make you feel good. They change the way you are. You know that,
Mhm.
Karen, because you do
Uh-huh.
hair also. So
Uh-huh.
it is your responsibility to put your best foot forward, share positivity with others, because you never, ever, ever know. But again, it goes back to redefining your why. Why do you do this? So I I I've had plenty of DJ friends that became DJs because they like to be in the spotlight. Look at me,
Mhm.
worship me. I'm king
Mhm.
this. I don't have any female. Actually, no, I know like one or two female DJs, but we're not close. Everybody else is a male. a male dominated business.
Yep.
So I noticed that, it's like, look at my muscles, my biceps are bigger than your leg, kind of. But okay, that's fine if that's your why. You have mommy, daddy issues and an inferiority complex. I read you like a damn book, and that's cool. If you get on the turntables to play and is, you don't know how to read your crowd, and you just want to be, you want
Right.
people to stop and look at you. Okay, that's fine. But to me, it's a very spiritual endeavor, because
Right.
again, you don't, like you said, you don't know who your art is going to transform out there. You just don't know. So do it, do it for the right reasons.
Right.
It's not your ego. You do it for the love of the craft that you are doing. And I
Yes.
promise you, the accolades, the fame, the fortune, whatever, that will
Yes.
come later.
Yes.
That's automatically attached to it, but that should not be your only goal. Your goal should be, I want to be happy doing what I'm doing. I want to make a difference in society. This is my legacy. This is my footprint that I'm leaving
Right.
behind the day that I cross over. And just focus on that. When people, like your podcast, whoever listens to it, great. When the podcast is over, they should feel better than they were before they tuned in.
One would
And
hope.
if you can do that, then that's it. That's your
Yep.
mission.
Yep.
Whether it's
Absolutely.
one person, 100, 200, doesn't
Absolutely.
matter. It is what it is. So
Every person counts.
one of my main gripes about social media is when you do things for the likes. And I'm like,
Absolutely.
okay, that gets annoying after a while. I'm like, listen,
Yeah.
I just keep it scrolling, keep it moving.
I never even knew that was a thing, to be honest with you, until
Yeah,
somebody said to me, "How come you never like my things?" Or I only got 16 likes. And I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like
yeah.
I never even thought that was a thing.
Well,
Like,
that's a thing for this generation. It's huge. They feel
okay, but it
validated.
wasn't this generation.
But
Well,
now, not for us,
this, well, that wasn't this yes, this was other things. I just wanted to, so Anthony is on here. Are we just listening, or can you hear us? No, we can't hear you. It is just myself and DJ Lady Tita. We can read your comments.
Yeah, Anthony,
um
did you have a question?
yeah,
Just
I'm
type
not
it in.
sure. Yeah, we're here. Well, listen, thank you guys, by the way, for tuning in to Real Talk with Karen Stacy and DJ Lady Tita. We are talking about music being your medicine, or being medicine, period. And you have two folds here, because we are definitely very spiritual beings, and so we look at it from two different levels. So not just the actuality of enjoying music, but also the actuality of where the music may transcend you and take you to. So just trying to put it out there that, hey, if you're having a bad day, or maybe you're not even having a bad day. Sometimes it's just about motivation, right? So like
Oh
sometimes,
yeah,
so Tita loves cleaning. I am
I
not
do.
I am not that person. I have to put on, like, I got to make espresso, I got to blast music, I got to do everything I possibly can to get my ass up to start cleaning, right? So all I'm saying is that it doesn't necessarily just have to be like for working out. It doesn't have to, sometimes it's just something to get you motivated. I mean,
Yeah,
how many of us, when we get ready, like if you're going out and you're getting ready, I mean, music goes on totally, and you're getting ready and you're listening to music. And depending on what music you're listening to is probably going to depend on like how you're getting ready, right? I mean, do you listen to music when you're getting ready to go to work?
no, I don't.
You don't.
I no. So
You can get your brain right.
okay. So back when I used to drink, yes, I would start pre gaming before my event, and by the time I got to work, I was feeling nice.
Oh,
And then I
okay.
would have a couple more, and I would get even nicer.
Okay.
Um, but then I got pregnant, and then after I had my daughter, I just realized this is over. Like my body
Right.
couldn't take the drinking. I did a lot of drinking, a
Mhm.
lot. So I had issues that were unresolved, unhealed. As I After I had my daughter, getting pregnant, I had to learn how to DJ sober again, and
Mm.
that was a task. That was rough. So
Yeah,
one
because there's
day,
not, you got to tap in
yeah, and I didn't know
instead
any
of
other way
tapping
to
out.
tap in. Exactly,
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do this. So one day, I'm
Yep.
watching an interview with Carlos Santana, and
Okay.
he was talking about how he meditates 2 hours before getting on stage to get in to connect to that realm. And so I took a step back. I'm like, huh. So I started doing that, and it worked. So to this day, because I've been sober for quite a few years, to this day, before I go out, I meditate. And by the time I get to work, I'm like cool as a cucumber. I'm good. I am freaking good. And it takes me about an hour to get to that point, and then I'm tapped in.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm tapped in, but also reading the crowd. There are times where, if the set might be more vocal oriented than other
Mm-hmm.
times. There are times when I feel, okay, these guys are ready for more, let's say, more drums. Let me go heavy on the percussion side. There are times when it's like, no, it's more Latin infused. So I'm able to feel and read the crowd's energy a lot easier. So for me, no. So before a gig, I do not listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
I meditate. I get very, very quiet. I don't answer phone calls. I seldom reply to text messages. When I'm off the grid is because I'm preparing to get on stage. And so that's how
Mm-hmm.
I prepare. But no, back in
Mm-hmm.
my drinking days, yeah, I would listen to club music and dance around, get ready. So by the time I got to the club, like you, I was the first one on the floor and the last one off the floor because I didn't go there with high heels. I went there to dance
Mm-hmm.
because I love the music. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for me it changed because life changed, and eventually then I got into the whole holistic healing side of things, and so
Mm-hmm.
drinking became just a big no for me. So
Well, I mean,
that's
I
how I
don't.
prepare.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I don't pregame or anything like that
Oh, I
either. I
used
just
to. It was
like,
awesome.
well, no, that I don't, but, obviously sometimes, one will, but I mean, it is an interesting dynamic because sometimes you do need, like, a lot of people don't know how to be in the silence. And
Yeah.
certainly you are one of the people that have taught me about that. And I find that, and, just for anybody listening right now, this may or may not resonate with you, but a lot of times the noise is what distracts you from the healing, if you will, or the
Yeah.
dealing. And so if you keep it busy and keep it noisy, you never actually have to deal with the silence. And you really, when I go through certain things, I'll tell Tita, I'm quiet and still.
Yep.
And she has definitely been someone that has helped me to implement those things because it's a learned behavior, just like what you said, right? Like earlier you used to listen to music, but of course you're not going out, you're going to work, so it's a different
It's a different
mindset.
approach. Yeah.
But and it is very true. When I first started doing my shows years ago on the radio, I was a nervous wreck, and yes, I would have a drink or two, so that I would be able to do the show because I was so
Yeah.
nervous. And then, once I recognized that I didn't really care for the way it, I mean, like, I didn't sound, I mean, maybe, I didn't sound like an idiot, but I realized that now I wanted to do it from a different place. And like you said, like you had to, when you were pregnant, you had to learn how to DJ sober. And it was kind of like the same thing. Like I had to learn how to do my shows sober, where you're coming from a very, very different place. So, again, music is great and it can be your medicine as long as you don't need the noise, so that you don't actually deal with whatever it is that you're trying to deal with, right? So if you're listening to music while you're getting ready, I know Danielle, she just put her hand up in the comment, and yes, we listen to music. You want to dance around while you're getting ready and all of that. Again, it's a vibe, it's a feeling. So it is
Yep.
medicine, because now it's like you're listening to that, and it's going to put you in whatever mood you want to be in. So,
Yeah.
don't discount the energy that music will give you. And sometimes, listen, what about when we were kids? Remember, the mixtapes, when you would break up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and you'd listen to like Stacy Lattiser, all cry and all cried out, and all of these songs, Lisa, I knew, and all the words, and you'd sit there and
All
you just
Cried
start,
Out was my go-to. Oh my
yes,
goodness.
and crying and everything else, right? And then you say to yourself, why are you torturing yourself listening to all these? Especially because back in the day, you would make each other mixtapes, right?
Well,
Like, and
back in the day, the artists actually put out slow songs. I miss
right,
that. You know,
true, true,
New Edition, Stacy Lattisaw,
true,
the
yeah,
Barge.
yeah.
I mean, come on, the Blue Notes. So yeah, there was a lot. There were a lot of coping tools out there. You just pick out a heart, make a mixtape of heartbreak, and you were
Right.
good.
And then you just sit there and play it for an hour and cry the whole time. Like,
Yep.
what is the matter with you? But you know what?
You
In
would ugly
hindsight,
cry out, and you
yes,
know what? But that was therapy.
yes, and in
You were
hindsight, that's
able
the
to
right thing to
express
do.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
just let it out.
And
So
again, through music, you emote.
from switching from music to the healing side of what I do, because I am a holistic healer 5 days a week. That is my full-time job. What I do tell my clients is the same thing with music. If you can find a song that takes you to a happier time or make you laugh, that's great. But know this, never suppress your emotions. If you are angry today, it's okay to be angry. If you're not okay today, it's okay to not be okay. If you are
Hmm.
grieving, it's okay to grieve. You have to go through the grieving process. If you cut it short, you will not come out of it not healthy, but you would not be able to process it properly, and so it would be literally become a ball and chain holding you down, rather
Right.
than you being able to coexist with the grieving. Um,
Hence the noise.
exactly. So what I recommend to my clients is whatever you are feeling today, welcome it, acknowledge it. But just if you have to have a bad day and lock yourself in a dark room because you're pissed off at the world and feeling sorry for
Hmm.
yourself, then that is where you're at. But know this, tomorrow it's a new day. Tomorrow you're
Hmm.
going to get up, you're going to kick the day's ass. And you're going to be like, no, I'm in charge of my day. Put on your favorite music while you're getting ready, but get yourself up and running.
Yes. And I mean, and I'm grateful, because that was definitely a lesson, that you have taught me. Because again, going back to what we were saying, depending on how you were brought up, it's kind of like, and Danielle and I have discussed this on our show as well, like, buck up, like, come on, let's go. I know, but come on, you gotta go. You don't just, buck up, be strong. Don't be weak. Don't be weak, and we don't recognize that dealing with pain actually shows your strength.
Yeah, well,
um
we were taught to suppress deep down into our feet, like Sebastian Maniscalco said, just suppress it way down there, and that's how you got through it. But what
yep,
happened? So the generation before us, a plethora of unresolved issues that got passed on to us, and so forth and so on. And so, what's the result? You have a bunch of people walking around with unresolved issues, suppressing everything down,
yep,
and so that does take a toll on your spirit, on
yep,
your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. And if it's not resolved in those three layers, then it manifests in your physical health.
yep. And unfortunately, the answer is not, just take an antidepressant, or whatever other drug, and then that's when also, self-medicating comes into effect,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
self-medicating may be, drugs or alcohol. I mean,
Any kind of addiction,
yeah,
it counts as,
shopping. I mean, it could be
yeah,
sex, could be
whatever it is. It
anything,
could be chocolate,
could be.
whatever it is. So my whole thing, believe it or not, is if it's a life-threatening situation, and I tell this to my clients, and you feel you have to take the antidepressant because you are just
Yes.
at the brink, then you do
Yes.
what you need to do, because that is where
Agreed.
conventional medicine is wonderful
Absolutely.
at basically taking the charge of the life or death situation. So do what you got to do.
Yep.
But
Yeah, no, 100%.
when the intensity of the event wears off, just know that recovery and maintenance is up to you. And so that is when, this is where I come in. I specialize in quantum healing, spiritual healing. It's my job to remove the traumas, what caused it, where it's generational, shared, absorbed, whatever. That's what I do. But the other coping mechanisms, exercise, music therapy, dancing, or walking, whatever it is, whatever makes
Hmm.
you feel good, or at least a little
Hmm.
bit better, do it. If it's a slice
Hmm.
of cake that you need to get yourself going, go have the damn piece of cake. Don't worry about the calories, don't worry about the sugar. You need the feel good endorphins that cake is going to give you. Then have the piece of cake, but just know that you can't have cake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in 24 hours, 7 days a week, because you're going to blow up like a balloon. But if you need a piece of cake, then have it. Don't worry about it. It's not that serious.
My I do this all the time. I mean, my late husband had he always told the joke,
Yeah.
we got cake and we got cock, and we're all out of cake. So every time there's cake around, Tita and I look at each other and I go like, wait,
Yeah.
we got cake, and we both start
And then we
dying
lose
laughing
it. But
because there's
again,
no reason for the next part.
that's a happy memory, and it always makes us laugh. That is the power of happy memories, and that's what cake does for us. Every time we buy a cake for the kids, we're like, and we burst out laughing.
She laughs like that with a knife in her hand too, by the way.
I do. It's freaking psychotic. I don't have a
I
normal laugh. I have issues with my laugh. It is what it is. My daughter says I sound like a hyena and something else. I can't remember
The
what she says, but
hyena is better than the evil laugh while you have the knife in your hand.
that is true.
I'll take the hyena over that cackle with the knife in your hand. And
Yeah,
I believe
I don't
I
laugh. I
videoed you.
cackle.
I believe I videoed you with the knife in your hand as you were cackling. Um, as
Yeah.
well. But so let's, I mean, just to recap and just to say thank you to everybody that has tuned in today. You're listening to Real Talk with Karen, Stacy, and DJ Lady Tita.
Ooh,
Um,
ooh.
who yes, and I have to say thank you because as I stated earlier, we usually are WTFing on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. with Danielle, but Danielle is being super mom and she's unable to be on, and my girl Tita was able to move things around so that she was able to come on today. So I thank you for that maneuvering.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And also, I mean, Tita's been on my show, many times, but since she has such a busy schedule, it's not always easy to make it happen. And we always say we're going to do it more, and then life happens, and
Ah,
stuff doesn't
we
happen.
make magic happen, and everything happens when it's supposed to happen. So
Yes,
this just it
absolutely.
was perfect.
Absolutely. And so, we're going to do a little shout out right now. Tita, you can let everybody know the radio station. And I mean, I know you mentioned the station and the clubs you work at and everything, but you know what?
You
Go
want me to
ahead.
do a formal roll
Shame,
call?
shamelessly plug. Go ahead.
Okay, so so DJ wise, I am one of the resident DJs at Club Feathers in River Edge, New Jersey, one of the oldest gay and lesbian clubs in the country. I do a lot of work for the LGBTQAII plus plus. I can't remember all the other letters. I do a lot of work. That's most of my work is done with the community. It is my home. It is my chosen family, and I love them dearly. So I am at Club Feathers. I am also at the Shea S, which is located in Hartford, Connecticut. I do a once a month tea dance in Westport, Connecticut, and our next one is December 17th. That is open to the public. That is a lot of fun. It is all dance music. It is all love. We have a lot of people that come from all walks of life, and it is just a very uplifting, literally an uplifting experience for everyone. I am also on the radio every Monday for Boom at Noon. Mondays, I play new disco house music. I am on the radio every other Thursday with Latin Thursdays, also at 12 p.m. I alternate that spot with George Lamond. He does every other Thursday. I am on the radio every Friday at 2 p.m., part of Freestyle Fridays. We have a huge lineup every single Friday. And on the radio every Saturday night at 9 p.m., part of Power Factoria. If you remember the original KTU, how they used to do their Saturday nights, that's basically what we do. So the
And please tell
radio,
them the radio station.
yeah, the radio station is called Power 787 Radio. You can download the app for free on your favorite app store. You can also stream it on the website, power787radio.com. You can follow us on social media under the same thing, Power 787 Radio. You can follow me on social media, DJ Lady Tita. Our purpose for the radio station is basically to make you feel good. It's run by DJs. We get it. That's all I'm going to say. It's run by DJs from a DJ's perspective, but it sounds like an FM radio station. And the purpose of the station is to make you feel good. There's too much crap out there. And if we don't do something, it's just going to continue to get worse. So our contribution to this world is the radio station for a better reason, not ratings, not corporate dictatorship like most FM radio stations are. The purpose of this radio station is just to make you feel good.
And
Besides
also,
that, the healing, the healing
mhm,
business that I do, you can look up what I do. The website to that is healingwithjerusalem.com. And you can
which
also contact me through there.
right. And I will say that I highly recommend Tita as a healer and a DJ, which are two, kind of sort of opposite ends of the spectrum, but meet
Yeah.
somewhere in the middle. And also, I just wanted to remind everybody that we are going to be having a Scorpio birthday bash on Saturday night
Oh wait, I
at
gotta interject this, Karen. So Karen's part in this whole movement of music is my medicine is the Scorpio party, because she's putting this into action in her own life. So you have to attend this party this coming Saturday. And go
Well,
ahead,
and
Karen,
thank
take it
you.
over.
And so we have, and I got to say, we have DJ Mayday, and DJ Mayday also has worked a lot with DJ Lady Theta.
Well, DJ
So,
Mayday is one of my DJ kids. He's kind of like my apprentice. I've taken him under my wing, and we are
mhm.
incredibly close. His daughter is one of our kids' closest friends now. No, they're part of the beach club crew, and so yeah, you guys are in very good hands with DJ Mayday. He's going to do a great
Right.
job.
And so, I did initially, well, not unfortunately, I mean, Tita was already booked because and so we got Mayday, DJ Mayday, who's going to do an awesome job. We were actually at her house, mixing the last
Yeah, on
week
Halloween.
on
so
Halloween.
So what you guys don't know is that Halloween is a very important holiday in my household. It is my daughter's favorite holiday. And so this year I was like, you know what? We're each Halloween it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And this Halloween was basically a blow. We actually had too many people in our home, but I expect next year to be even more. And so this year I set up a little DJ booth downstairs in the living room, and my husband was teaching Karen how to DJ, and
And
then
her
DJ
husband
made,
also, I'm sorry, we got to
yeah,
give
go
a
ahead.
shout out to your husband because he is a phenomenal DJ as well.
Yeah, he's also on the station as well. He also works at the same places we work, so it's a family thing for us. But yeah, Halloween he was jamming, Karen was jamming, the DJ made they got here, he was jamming. So yeah, it's a family thing, and I know he's gonna take that energy and put it into your event this coming Saturday.
Absolutely. We're going to be a good duo together. I will be hosting and emceeing, and we got DJ Mayday. So, for anybody that is in the New York area, we are going to be at Fire and Oak, which is in Croton, and it's from 8 to 12. So, it's early, in and out for us old people. And we got old school music, and Danielle, who is one of my co hosts, it is her birthday and she is coming in from Florida
Oh, happy
to
birthday, Danielle.
party. Yes, her birthday was actually Sunday, and we are celebrating on Saturday.
That's
So make
awesome.
sure you guys come down. I want to say thank you so much, Lady Tita, for joining me today
Thank you.
and sharing all of your wisdom. And as always, I love you. And
Love you too.
hopefully, we will be. Don't forget to tune in next Tuesday at
Tuesday.
11 a.m. For WTF with Karen and Danielle. Hopefully, Danielle will have her cape off and will be able to join us.
She'll come in for landing.
She'll come in for a landing.
Make that a smooth landing, Danielle, okay?
Yes, absolutely. I hope everybody
So
has a great
silly.
day. And don't forget, listen to some music and let music be your medicine.
Amen, sister.
All right. Love you all. And we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.